Director Frank Capra underscored the significance of even the seemingly insignificant life. It was not just It's a Wonderful Life and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, but nearly all of Capra's works carried a deeper theme about the incredible importance of the seemingly insignificant individual. That's why Life Fest Film Festival has named its signature awards the Capra Awards. Every life does matter. Every life is significant. Find out more in this edition of Life Matters. Brian Johnston has served in many capacities while advocating for innocent lives, as the Western Director of the National Right to Life Committee, as California Commissioner on Aging, as Chairman of the California Pro-Life Council, on the board of the National Legal Center for the Medically Dependent and Disabled. And now here's our host, Brian Johnston.
Welcome back to Life Matters. We're your program on the right to life, on what it really is and what you can do about it. We're here to equip you for this very real battle of ideas. And today I'm going to focus on a very special presentation of ideas through a program called Life Fest Film Festival. Life Fest is a unique film festival from Hollywood, California, but it has now spread around the world. It's unique in that all of the films present stories that are deeply moving regarding the nature of unique human being. These are not movies about abortion. Some of them are, but most of them are stories. You know, when Jesus taught, his most effective teaching was in telling stories, and that's what a good storyteller does. Personally, I believe that our culture has moved away from reading literature and that movies have become the literature of our culture. And that's where we get ideas. That's where we're moved by stories. And nothing can be more effective than a good movie to get a message across. So Life Fest Film Festival receives films from throughout the world. We're going to tell you how you can be involved and how you can make a difference in helping people understand the significance of innocent human life. And since we're also at year-end, I want to remind you that Mike Lindell, many of you know of Mike Lindell. He's involved as a businessman, but he's involved in many issues, but it's very clear. And if you know of him and know him, he has personally listened to this program. He also, more importantly, his number one issue is the abortion issue and protecting innocent lives. And he is a supporter of Life Matters Radio. So if you're thinking at the end of the year getting some kind of gifts or goodies through My Pillow, I recommend go ahead and do that. He wants to share, and if you put in the promo code LIFE, that's all caps, LIFE, LIFE, then he will share with Life Matters some of those benefits. It's great. They're great products. I have a My Pillow. I have My Towels. My wife and I use My Towels. And right now I'm wearing My Slippers. And I like these ones. These are moccasin-appearing slippers, but they've got a hard sole. I wear them around the house, and I can wear them outside, too, and even go into the store. They're the ones that got the wool inside. It's kind of a nice artificial wool, but they're nice and snug. Those are My Slippers. But the promo code is LIFE, LIFE. So those are three things you're going to hear about. Those are three things you may want to write down. Again, a discount for you on lifefilmfest.com. Put in POD 40 for your discount to see these cool films, new films. You've never heard of them before. That's what happens at a film festival. Again, on Life Fest, I want to remind you, go online, lifefilmfest.com. Get your listeners' discount, whether radio or podcast. At checkout, put in POD 40. POD 40 will get you 40% discount on your ticket. We're going to talk about more of that when we come back.
Life Matters continues after this.
You may not realize it, but it's the end of the year giving, Christmas giving, if you will, that allows us to stay on the air throughout the year. We broadcast throughout California, and our podcasts are listened to again and again to help equip Californians to really understand what the Right to Life battle is all about. please remember us now at the end of the year. Go to californiaprolife.org, californiaprolife.org, and you can give your tax-deductible donation to Life Matters.
Are you willing to step up to be a lifeguard? We're asking you to consider becoming a Life Matters lifeguard. On Life Matters, we cut to the depths of this cultural battle of ideas that has robbed America of its core values and robbed the innocent of their right to life. Anything you can pledge is appreciated. But if you pledge $19 a month, we will make you part of the Life Matters lifeguard team, getting you the important tools and dynamic information to help save lives and encourage others in understanding the lurking dangers in today's deadly cross-currents of culture. Your pledge helps us with our costs of broadcast. It keeps the full understanding of the right to life going out over our numerous radio stations and also facilitates the important podcast that carries even more programming. Please go to the front page of the Life Matters website and click on the donate button. Your donation is deeply appreciated.
And now back to more Life Matters with Brian Johnston.
Welcome back. We're talking about Life Fest Film Festival from Hollywood, California. It's a unique film festival that receives films from throughout the world. It raises up new filmmakers. For most film festivals, they're made up of submissions of brand new films. Now, you've seen many films that got their start at Life Fest, and you'll see that when you go to lifefilmfest.com. That's lifefilmfest.com, where you can get some background, and you'll hear from Vanna White. You'll hear from Kevin Sorbo and Clint Howard, folks in Hollywood that appreciate good storytelling that's edifying and builds up the significance of the seemingly insignificant life. And you know, if you study literature, that's one of the themes of good literature, that someone who is seemingly insignificant is moved through life by conviction and by some friends, but they make a difference because of their moral decisions. They seem like a nobody, whether it be Star Wars and young Luke Skywalker, who was a seemingly insignificant kid on some remote planet, who basically was a forgotten nobody. And yet he was someone, and he made moral decisions. And in the course of his decisions, he actually impacted the entire world in which he lived. That's a theme in all good literature. It's also a theme in all good films. So if you go to Life Fest Film Festival, you have a chance to view new films from new filmmakers. And for those of you who listen by radio or podcast, if you use the very special discount code POD40, you'll get a 40% discount on the already amazingly discounted ticket prices, where you don't have to come to Hollywood anymore. We used to show this at Raleigh Studios, which were the original Chaplin Studios in Hollywood, where you would have to come and sit in the seats. Now, because of the miracle of modern technology, you can actually go to Life Fest online. You can stream Life Film Fest and its submissions right in your home living room on your widescreen TV or on your computer if you prefer. So Life Fest Film Festival is now using technology and streaming live to you. You're going to see some of the most creative new filmmakers and some old-timers. There's many people that you have seen and heard that got their start at Life Film Fest. So if you go to lifefilmfest.com, that's lifefilmfest.com, you will see the opportunity. You'll see some, as I said, quotes from Kevin Sorbo, from Vanna White, from Clint Howard of the Howard brothers. You're going to appreciate the kind of storytelling that is unique and important to Hollywood. This is a unique film festival. There are many film festivals out there. Many of them are geographically based or they're thematically based, but the themes are very worldly. The themes, there's zombie film festivals. If you look at the list of film festivals, there's a lesbian slasher film festival. Now, that's not the kind of films we'd like to see being made. If you go to Life Film Fest, you'll be able to see your opportunity to be involved in what is changing Hollywood. When we come back, I'll explain why this is important for our whole society. But if you go to Life Film Fest and use the discount code POD40, you're going to get a 40% discount, an already deeply discounted ticket for your home to see all of these films. So you can't watch all of them. You won't have enough time in December to do that. And typically December is when we kick off each season. But now Life Fest goes year round. If you view in December, you're going to get to vote on these films. And you can vote from your home and view these films from throughout the world. You can view them in your home. You don't have to go to the movie theater. So that's lifefilmfest.com. For radio and podcast listeners, use the discount code POD40. So literally this will be for pennies. You'll have some great family entertainment, and you can vote on these films through December 31st. And then it's going to continue to run year round. So that's lifefilmfest.com. Go to lifefilmfest.com, log in and use the discount code POD40.
Life Matters continues after this.
You know, you're pretty amazing. The reason I can say that is America's founders said that about you. That's right. They said that every human being is created by a creator and given rights by that creator. Those rights are not given by the government. It's the government's job to protect those rights. And the very first and most important is the right to be alive, the right to life. If you want to be involved in the national effort, go to nrlc.org. Christmas is the time of year when we honor Christ and the fact that God Himself has decided to become one of us. We remember, too, that we, each and every one of us, is actually made in God's image. Each child is an incredible gift of life. If you'd like to help in the battle for life here in California and remember them at this time of year, please go to californiaprolife.org. That's California Pro-Life, all spelled out, no hyphens, californiaprolife.org, and help us as we stand for the cause of life and for each and every vulnerable child.
And now back to more Life Matters with Brian Johnston.
Welcome back to Life Matters. We're talking about Life Fest Film Festival. Now, the reason Life Fest is important is many pro-life people seem to think if you point out to a young person, well, that's a human baby, or you're taking a human life. Do you know? They already know that. There are many people who already acknowledge, yeah, this is a human being. So what? They're not useful. They're not contributing. They have problems, or they could have problems, or they could be a problem. And so what has happened to our entire culture is a disregard for human life. So just saying this is a human life is not enough if you want to impact our culture. We must get people to understand the significance of each human life and why it's unique, why this God-given gift of life, that we've been given a unique gift, why that should be honored under the law. If they don't have a regard for human life, they will not care about laws that protect babies or protect grandmas or protect the elderly from being euthanized. You are not going to make a mark until they understand the deeper significance. And it's stories that do that. If you think back in literature, if you think back in your own reading, it's often books or movies that you have seen that have impacted and formed your thinking. And it's important that that be reinforced. Life Fest Film Festival does that. Go ahead. There's several great introductions from filmmakers who have moved on. One of our purposes is to raise up a new generation of filmmakers, and that's what film festivals do. It gives new-timers a chance to join with old-timers in the benefit of storytelling through the visual image. I'd like you to look at a clip from Ricky Borba. Ricky was a longtime volunteer for Life Fest, and he helped make this happen for many years. Ricky has now gone on. He has produced many faith-based films, and you'll know some of them. Look at his introduction to Life Fest and why he believes it's important to underscore the value and significance of each individual life, and in particular, the seemingly insignificant life. That is the theme of all good storytelling. That is the theme of all good messaging when it comes to culture and life and values. And Life Film Fest does that. Listen in.
Life Fest is the unique film festival that underscores the significance of every life, and in particular, the seemingly insignificant life. I'm Ricky Borba, a film director with theatrically released and award-nominated films. I spent several years as part of the Life Fest team behind the scenes, and that experience reinforced my own unique directorial message of God's gift to each and every one of us, the gift of life. Life Fest works with established old hands in Hollywood and welcomes and encourages a new generation of filmmakers to tell compelling stories of the unique lives of the unsung and yet remarkable human beings around us. A film festival unlike any other, Life Fest utilizes all of our modern gifts in technology and storytelling to celebrate those films that have a classic message, the message of the uniqueness of life.
That's Ricky Borba. So when you go to Life Film Fest, use the promo code POD40. That's for radio and podcast listeners. You'll get a tremendous discount. You'll be able to watch these films from the last 2 seasons that have been submitted. You'll be able to get edified. You won't have enough time if you use the whole month. When you go to the website, you'll see there's many workshops, and a lot of film festivals are composed of workshops of filmmakers. So we've recorded various workshops that you could see if you're interested, or you know someone, a young person perhaps, who wants to get involved in the film industry. We want to encourage good filmmaking. So there's interviews and workshops. Make sure that you click on See All, because there's quite a few. There's also trailers. You can watch some of the trailers. Some of them are very, very creative. Again, when you go to the catalog, make sure you click on See All, because there's quite a few. And then there's shorts. Many film festivals are made of calling cards. And what a calling card in the movie industry is a short film where a filmmaker shows their creative abilities and the way they tell stories. And that is what you do at a film festival, is you let other filmmakers know the kind of films you make. And that's known as shorts. Quite a few short films in every film festival, but we only use films that underscore the significance of the seemingly insignificant life and how they have made a difference or can make a difference. So make sure you look at them all. They're 10 minutes or less. Look at some of those, quite a few of those. A short is considered anything under an hour. And then, of course, there's some feature-length films, which you shall find. Make sure you click on See All. You will not have enough time. And again, you'll be able to view these at home. And in the month of December, you can vote on your favorite film. You're not going to have enough time unless you just sit around as a couch potato. We're not encouraging that. You need to be active. But you can watch quite a few of these films. And again, this is good entertainment for the family. You're going to be edified. One of the films for Life Fest 24 was Mother Teresa, No Greater Love. So the story of Mother Teresa. And there's quite a few other great films. Joy in the Morning, a powerful, powerful testimony of caring for vulnerable people. But there's more. Make sure you see them. There is foreign film available for you. And I think you need to realize that Americans are not the only people telling stories about what's right and good and just. So you'll enjoy that. They're subtitled Life Film Fest. is the film fest that makes a difference in Hollywood, and it's where Hollywood wants to make a difference. So go to lifefilmfest.com, click on registration, and use the discount code POD40. It's already deeply discounted, and when you use discount code POD40, you're going to get these films for pennies. We now run year-round. In the month of December, you can vote on the new submissions. But Life Film Fest is now running year-round. Life Film Fest has transformed Hollywood, and just as Hollywood itself has been transformed. Another time, I will tell you about the deep changes that have affected Hollywood. Corporately, you've seen many of them, but streaming online has become a major distribution program in the Hollywood marketing scheme, and you're now part of that. You can stream Life Film Fest online and pay a fraction of what you pay for some of the more questionable films that Hollywood puts out. Life Film Fest will give you films that'll help you and your family have a deeper appreciation for human life. Again, if you have any friends, young people who want to get involved in the film industry, tell them about Life Film Fest. They can submit their films through Film Freeway. They'll know what you're talking about. They can submit their films, and we give special consideration to those films that tell the life story of someone who is significant and should be honored and protected. And yet that's the problem in our culture. We don't understand the value of human life. Jesus told parables because people were religious. If you're pursuing the pro-life cause based only on your personal religion and theology, you are actually not communicating with people beyond your immediate religious culture. But the story of life and the reason we want to protect life is that everyone has been endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. Everyone has been given this unique gift, and that's what we want to celebrate. If we underscore this, it's so much easier to get people to understand the need to protect the vulnerable baby, to protect the vulnerable grandma, to protect that individual that happens to be in a wheelchair and is viewed as somehow less than perfect. Unless they understand the significance of every human life, they're not going to want to protect that human life. So storytelling gets that across. And some of the stories from Scripture, the Good Samaritan, for example, Jesus had to deal with his own religious Jews to wake them up, to get them to understand who is significant, what lives are significant. And he chose a religion that the Jews hated, and yet he made the Samaritan the great hero, more than a Jewish person would ever do. In fact, the Pharisees, as you know, had nothing to do with that robbery victim. And yet it was who? It was the Samaritan, the hated Samaritan. Jesus got their attention. Stories get people's attention on a deeper level. So storytelling, very powerful, very important. That's why we want these good storytellers who are life-affirming storytellers, making their way in Hollywood, changing the culture and society through telling good stories. You're going to see some unique stories. You may wonder, well, why? I don't get it. I don't understand what this story of calf roping, what does that have to do with abortion? It isn't about abortion. It's about innocent human life and the uniqueness of every life and why that vulnerable person should be honored. That's about abortion. The only reason abortion is significant is it's killing a unique person. And unless there's regard for the uniqueness of the human person, for that gift of life which God has given us, unless there's that regard, you will not make a change when it comes to abortion or infanticide or euthanasia. Unless you're impacting your culture, you cannot make a change by simply wagging our moral fingers. We must do more. We must help them understand. We must be apt to teach and quick to listen so that they can be unwound in the futility of their mind. They have the wrong idea about why it's good to kill babies, why it's good to kill. Incompassion will kill grandma. We need to unwrap the confusion, the emotional confusion of their mind, as it says in the book of Timothy, by which they've been taken captive by the devil to do his will. Unless you help them understand why it's wrong, just opposing them doesn't help because they're actually opposing themselves by their ideas. So we need to reach into the realm of ideas. We need to affirm the dignity of the human person. And that's what Life Fest Film Festival does. It draws on the unique stories and it draws out new storytellers. This idea isn't new, but we are. Life continues, and we want good, life-affirming storytellers in Hollywood to be raised up. Life Fest Film Festival does that. Go to lifefilmfest.com, use POD40 for a 40% discount. It's going to be visible year-round, but you vote at the end of the year. That's right. From Thanksgiving evening through New Year's morning, you can vote for this year's submissions. But you can view the films now year-round in your home. You know, we have some sponsors for Life Matters, and I want to tell you about one, and that's Mike Lindell. You know a lot about Mike Lindell, the pillow guy, but he supports this program because we cut to the chase about this debate. For Mike, this debate over life is the number one issue, and he supports our program. You will get a discount, the deepest discount. If you go to My Pillow or My Store, you can get a lot of stuff through Mike and use the discount code LIFE. That's right. Use the discount code LIFE, capital L-I-F-E, for a very deep discount. That's My Pillow, Mike Lindell. Use the discount code LIFE, L-I-F-E. God bless.
If you have friends who are interested in film or the movie industry, be sure to tell them about Life Fest Film Festival. Held in the heart of the movie industry, Life Fest affirms the most significant aspects of film or any good storytelling, the unique importance of the human experience. Learn more about everything in today's show online at lifematters.life, where you'll find all the resources you need to protect life. Life Matters is a production of the California Pro-Life Council.